Hey YouTube family, it's your boy K-Ray. I got something I want to share with y'all today, man. I love reading about David. You know, you find David in 1st and 2nd Samuel. You know, when he first it introduces him. You know, 1st Samuel when Saul tried to kill him. You know, because after Saul had made God angry by not doing what he told him to do. You know, he had lost God's trust. You know, he lost the kingship to David. It was the apple of God's eye. You know, and David was destined to be king after Saul died. You know, Saul was king for a while, and he fell on his own sword. And Amalekite came by and finished him off. The Amalekite came by and, after he finished him off, took his shield, took his crown, and came and brought it to David. And David killed the guy because he touched God's anointed, the Amalekite, which David and them was always into it with the Amalekites. You know, in 1st and 2nd Samuel. But what amazes me about David is about how much forgiveness he has. See, David was a fighting man, and David was a killer. David had some guys with him. They call him the big three. And these were 3 killers, man. And they was in a cave. And he wanted some. He was so thirsty, you know. He was famished, man. And these 3 went out there and killed 800 men. You see, these 3 was the most powerful out of all of David's hosts, and all these other warriors that David had with him. And he had a couple of them. These just was the captain of them all. These 3 right here was some bad dudes. They take out one man and take out 800 people. You know, so he had some bad dudes surrounded by him, and they was just always ready. They was ready to chop some heads off. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no thing for them to get out there and butcher some folks. You know, it wasn't no thing. And then you look at that, you say, man, were these guys people? I want to share a story with you about Nabal, and this is in First Samuel chapter 25. And you know, Nabal was a man who had a couple of sheep or whatever, you know, like that. So David and his boys, man, they riding around the field, you know what I'm saying, and they just coming through, you know, passing through, and Nabal is part of, you know, David's people, man, you know. So he just riding around, and then he's on the outskirts of Nabal's land, and the Philistines always came through and raided him, you know what I'm saying, but all of a sudden they all stopped. That's because David was on the outskirts of the town protecting Nabal and them, you know, him and his thugs, him and his 3 boys, you know, the killers. It was more of them, but all of them, they was out there. So David and them and his boys sitting out there outside in the wilderness, just chilling, you know what I'm saying, fighting off all these people that's coming through trying to invade Nabal's land. You know, so, you know, and Nabal he was a rich man. He had sheep, goats, all that, you know, food for days, you know, wine and all that. So David sent about 2, 3 of his boys down there to Nabal's door to go and you know, ask him for some food because them boys was out there hungry and thirsty. Nabal came to the door and said, why should I give a runaway slave anything? Nothing but a runaway slave. You see, Nabal didn't know that this man was out here protecting his butt. You know, he just thought he was just living it good and there getting drunk. You know, got wine, you know what I'm saying, and everything. So the boys come back and tell David, hey David, man, this dude in here tripping, man. He sent us away like some punks or something. So let's get off his porch. He gonna kill us. So David looked at him and said, okay, I got something for old boy there. Get our swords and get our weapons together. Now, Abigail got wind of this. And see, she had a mind, she knew. See, she had a mind. She was wise. She said, hold on, this is a bad boy out here, and I hear he talking about coming to kill my man. So let me go on out here and give this man what he wants, because my husband is a fool. You know, he's stupid. Let me go ahead and feed these folks out here, because I know that ain't nobody touched a hair on my sheep head. All my people out here watching the sheep, you know. And that's because of David. So I'm going to go out here and give him everything that he wants. All the food he can eat. She went out there and stopped David from coming over there cutting off Nabal's throat. Nabal said, you know what? David said, you know what? What I'm going to do is, man, I'm going to let God handle this. I ain't going to mess with him. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even got to, he disrespected me. He did all that. You know, even though I did all this without even charging him nothing. You know, he disrespected me like that. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to let God handle it. Guess what? Nabal was sitting in there that night drinking some wine. Had a heart attack. Next day fell out and died. Next thing you know, David is marrying Abigail. David had many sons. You see, sometimes we want to go back and get revenge on some on people who have done things to us. We get angry. We walking in a store, somebody cuts us off on the street. We walk in the store, somebody skipping us in the line. We at our job and the dude is disrespecting us, you know, saying things that's not true about us, lying on us. So they're always gonna lie and cheat and steal and on you, you know. That's gonna happen. That's gonna all through your life, I don't care who or what you are, that's gonna happen to you. You know, what position you in, you always gonna go through that because you dealing with people. But David said, I'm gonna let God handle this. Now, certain ways, you know, things come back to people through God, you know, as he gives. You know, back in this day, back in the Old Testament, people flat out just dying. You know, you couldn't even come in the temple room back then. You came in the temple room, they had a rope on these folks pulling them out. So, we must let God fight our battles. You can't fight all your battles. You can't whoop everybody. You ain't gonna win every battle that you get into. But when you let God handle your battles, you might as well notch that up for a win. Like I said, this life here, we play this to win. We don't play this to have no mistakes on our no criminal records and getting fired. And you know, we don't play that because that's not winning. That's not winning. We try to keep everything clean, you know. And if you start getting dirty, you start getting down, acting like these non-Christians, these evil folks. Oh, the devil got you. You see, that's what he wants you to do. He want to provoke you to act like them, so that you can be them and be stuck like them, mentally, physically. You know, that's part of the game. That's part of his game, to try to get you, to entrap you, to suck you in. That's that bait. So we must control our anger, control our attitudes. You know, change our ways, because man, this life right here. It's the difference between the game and this life right here. You only get one shot at it. And once you dead and gone, ain't no coming back trying to tell somebody about this life. Because that's it. There ain't no more second chance to come back here. That's it. You done made your move. You done played your hand. And that's it. So let's play the best hand we can play. Let's go out here and try to win this, because we got other people looking at us who don't know how to win, but you can show them how to win. That's why I'm glad that we're using this YouTube here as a vessel to help people know that this Bible here is the blueprint, is the way to the goal line, is the way to be a winner. And you don't have to be no follower just to win. You don't follow T.D. Jakes, Pastor Brown. You see, those are just vessels. This man in here, Jesus Christ, that's the source. Everything else that's coming out of my mouth, I'm just a resource. He's a resource. Everything else just a resource. This right here, this man who wrote this God who wrote this, Jesus Christ who came here to die for our sins, and gave us this grace and this mercy that we are blessed with right here today, to do it again and try it again until we die. You know, that's the source. And that's really what we need to be relying on, not following this man who telling us to come in these doors and take your hat off your head, or do something that you wouldn't normally do. You know, do something that you wouldn't, that's not immoral. It's not immoral. It's not wrong to come in to the church with your hat on. If you come in the church that way, you get in there and then let God mold you. Let this man talk to you. That's why I say you must have a good relationship with Jesus Christ. And no matter what nobody say, tell you that you wrong, when you talking to Jesus Christ, you right, you win. They wrong. That man be a liar, but not Jesus Christ. So, on that point there, I'm going to go ahead and be out on this. Give it to God. You have less gray hairs. Your hairline to be straight. More money in your pocket. Maybe. It ain't guaranteed. It can happen. But let God fight your battles. You might win. You gonna win. But you might live. You might not. But guess what? If you live, you be here with Jesus Christ, doing the work of the Lord. If you die, you be at home with the Father. How can you lose? Alright, YouTube. Be blessed. Till next time.